My fellow Africans, my brothers and sisters across the world, today I speak to you not just as the leader of Burkina Faso, but as a witness to an extraordinary moment in our global history. A moment that fills me with pride, humility, and deep reflection. I have just witnessed an event that demands respect, admiration, and awe, the grand military parade of the People's Republic of China on its National Day, led by President Xi Jinping himself. And I must say, from the depths of my heart, I am honored beyond words. President Xi Jinping, your kind words about me, about Burkina Faso, about our steadfast stance in the face of Western pressures, those words resonate deeply. I am humbled, truly humbled, to hear a leader of such a historic nation, a nation that has endured centuries of struggle yet risen as a global force, recognize the courage and determination of my people and myself. This is a recognition that history itself will remember. As I watch China celebrate its strength, its unity, and its discipline, I could not help but feel inspired. The scale, the precision, the sheer dedication, it was breathtaking. Row upon row of disciplined soldiers, the gleaming machinery of modern defense, the symbolism in every maneuver, the pride on every face. It was a powerful reminder that a nation is not defined merely by its wealth or its resources, but by the will of its people, to rise, to endure, to defend, and to triumph. What a fascinating display it was. What a statement to the world. And yet, as the world looked on in awe, I felt something even more profound. I felt solidarity. I felt strength. I felt that when nations like ours, determined, sovereign, and unyielding, stand shoulder to shoulder, we cannot be shaken. We cannot be threatened. We cannot be intimidated. Together, we are strong. President Xi Jinping, I salute you. I salute your leadership, your vision, and your unwavering commitment to China's greatness. You have transformed your nation into a formidable power, respected, feared, and admired across continents. You have proven that resilience, strategy, and unity can lift a nation to heights once thought unreachable. For this, I offer my deepest congratulations, not only on your National Day, but on the triumph of your people, the strength of your spirit, and the undeniable power you have brought to your country. As I watched this parade, I felt a personal connection, a reminder that leadership is not about bowing to foreign pressures or surrendering to outside forces. I was deeply moved when President Xi praised Burkina Faso and praised me personally for refusing to bow to the West, for asserting our sovereignty, for insisting that our nation chart its own destiny, unshackled and unbroken. Your words, President Xi, were not just complimentary. They were empowering. They reminded me, and they reminded all of us, that courage and conviction do not go unnoticed. That standing firm in the face of adversity is a strength that transcends borders. To my people, to the sons and daughters of Burkina Faso, I say this: our struggle, our defiance, our determination to remain sovereign and uncorrupted by external influence, this is recognized across oceans, even in the halls of nations that have long been global powers. When a leader of China, a nation that has endured centuries of hardship and emerged victorious, acknowledges our courage, it is proof that we are on the right path. Proof that our fight is noble, just, and necessary. Once again, I express my deepest gratitude to President Xi Jinping for his remarkable words. You spoke not only to me, but to all of Africa, to every nation that dares to resist, to dream, to claim its own destiny. Your acknowledgement of Burkina Faso and our stance is more than a compliment. It is a call to every nation that refuses to be subjugated, a call to rise, to unite, and to demand the respect that is rightfully ours. Let me say this clearly. We are at a turning point in history. The old rules imposed by those who seek to dominate, to control, to exploit, those rules are fading. Nations like ours, nations that value sovereignty, courage, and vision are rising. And as we rise, we look not only to ourselves, but also to our allies, nations that share our values, our commitment to independence, and our determination to resist intimidation. China, under the leadership of President Xi, is one such nation. A beacon of what is possible when vision meets action, when courage meets strategy, when discipline meets determination. The world may be surprised by our alliance, by this mutual recognition, by the solidarity between Burkina Faso and China. But let me be clear, we are not here to shock the world for spectacle. We are here to remind every nation, every leader, every citizen that power, respect, and dignity are not begged for, not borrowed, not stolen. They are earned. We are here to remind the world that when a people stand united, guided by leaders who refuse to compromise their principles, the impossible becomes inevitable. Watching the parade, I understood the message China sends to the world. It is a message of strength, of preparedness, of determination, and of pride. And it is a message that resonates deeply with us in Burkina Faso. Our people, our soldiers, our citizens must also feel this energy, this confidence, this certainty that we are capable of greatness, that we are capable of defending our sovereignty, that we are capable of achieving what others claim is impossible. President Xi, your praise of Burkina Faso, your recognition of our refusal to bow to the West, this is a historic acknowledgement. They are not mere words. They are a declaration that courage is recognized, that independence is respected, that the path we have chosen is valid, honorable, and right. Your recognition strengthens our resolve, emboldens our spirit, and reassures us that the path we walk, though challenging, is the path of honor. I want the world to understand this. Burkina Faso will not bend. We will not compromise. We will not yield to pressure or intimidation. Our strength lies not just in our land, our resources, or our people, but in our unwavering commitment to our principles, our sovereignty, and our dignity. And today, with leaders like President Xi acknowledging our stance, with nations like China standing as examples of what can be achieved through vision and courage, we are reminded that together we are stronger. To my fellow African leaders, I say this. Look at what is happening. Look at the message that China sends to the world. Let us take inspiration. Let us recognize that sovereignty is not negotiable. That independence is not a choice, it is a right. That courage is a currency more valuable than gold, and conviction is a strength stronger than armies. As I watched the military parade, I was struck not only by the power on display, but by the discipline, the organization, and the unity. Every soldier, every formation, every maneuver communicated a single truth. A nation that stands together. A people that are united. A leadership that is visionary. This nation cannot be shaken. And this truth resonates deeply with me as I reflect on Burkina Faso. As I reflect on Africa, as I reflect on the potential that lies within us when we choose unity over division, courage over fear, principle over expedience. President Xi Jinping, let me once more express my gratitude, your acknowledgement, your praise, your recognition of Burkina Faso and of myself. These are not empty gestures. They are affirmations that the world is watching, that the world is beginning to recognize that a new era is upon us. An era where nations that refuse to bow, that refuse to compromise, that refuse to accept domination, these nations will rise, and we will rise together. Let us be clear. The West may be shocked, unsettled, and even threatened by this display of solidarity. But we will not be distracted. We will not be intimidated. We will not be silenced. Our mission is clear. Our vision is steadfast. And our determination is unbreakable. Together with nations like China, we send a message to the world. The era of unilateral dominance is ending. The era of mutual respect, sovereignty, and strength is beginning. To the people of Burkina Faso and to all those who seek freedom, independence, and dignity, know this. We are no longer passive observers in the theater of global politics. We are actors. We are leaders. We are voices that demand respect. And today, the recognition by a great nation like China reminds us that our courage matters, our resolve matters, and our independence matters. I watched President Xi's parade and saw more than a demonstration of military might. I saw a reflection of what is possible when leadership is courageous, when vision is unyielding, and when unity is embraced. I saw the embodiment of strength that is both disciplined and inspiring. And I thought to myself, Burkina Faso can achieve greatness. Africa can achieve greatness when we embrace our potential, when we honor our sovereignty, when we refuse to bow to external pressures. We are unstoppable. President Xi Jinping, your praise of Burkina Faso, your acknowledgement of our stance is a moment that I will never forget. It is a moment that reminds me that courage is universal, that independence is revered across nations, and that principle knows no borders. Your words have energized my spirit, strengthened my resolve, and affirmed that the path we walk is the right one. Together, we are stronger. Together, we are unshakable. Together, we are a force the world cannot ignore. Today, as I salute China's power, as I congratulate President Xi Jinping, as I reflect on the unity, discipline, and courage on display, I am filled with hope. Hope for Burkina Faso, hope for Africa, hope for a world where nations rise not by submission, but by principle, courage, and strength. As I watched the grand military parade in China on the occasion of its National Day led by President Xi Jinping, I was struck not only by the scale of the event, but by the profound symbolism it carried. This was not just a display of military strength or national pride. It was a statement to the world, a declaration that a nation united and disciplined can achieve greatness beyond imagination. And I must take a moment to congratulate China on this remarkable day. For it is a day that celebrates more than history. It celebrates vision, resilience, and the indomitable spirit of its people. President Xi Jinping, I salute you for the leadership that has brought your nation to this extraordinary position. To witness the coordination, the precision, and the pride evident in every movement of the parade was to witness the result of decades of commitment, planning, and unwavering dedication, the unity of your people, the strength of your armed forces, the power of your technological advancements. All of this reflects a nation that has risen from the challenges of its past to become a global example of discipline and success. This is no small achievement. It is the product of vision meeting action, courage meeting strategy, and leadership meeting accountability. As I observed the parade, I felt inspired by the sheer determination and focus of the Chinese people. Every formation, every display of military equipment, every synchronized movement of soldiers conveyed a message far greater than words could express. A message that strength is built not by fear, but by discipline. That power is earned through perseverance. That a nation's greatness is measured by the will of its people to stand together and strive for excellence. It is impossible not to feel admiration for such a nation. For a country that has transformed its history, its economy, and its global standing through courage, foresight, and resilience. On this day, as China celebrates its achievements and its unity, I want to express my heartfelt congratulations. Your National Day is not only a moment for your country to look back on its history, but a moment for the world to recognize the strength, intelligence, and determination that have propelled China forward. This parade is a testament to your ability to lead, to inspire, and to unite your people under a common purpose. A purpose that values strength, pride, and resilience. I cannot overstate how impressive this display is, how fascinating it is to see a nation so disciplined, so organized, and so proud of its identity. Moreover, I want to salute you, President Xi Jinping, for the leadership that has guided China through complex global challenges, ensuring its rise as a respected and formidable nation. The world must take notice, for the example set by China is one of vision, determination, and unyielding commitment to national development. It reminds us all, especially nations like Burkina Faso, that the path to strength and sovereignty lies in unity, planning, and courage. Watching the parade, I felt an inspiring connection between our nations. I admired not just the strength of China, but the values that underpin it: discipline, pride, and a commitment to the greatness of the nation above all else. It is a reminder to every nation that leadership is about foresight, resilience, and the ability to inspire a people to achieve what was once thought impossible. And so to China, to its people, and to President Xi Jinping, I say this: congratulations on your National Day. Congratulations on a display that will be remembered for generations. I salute the remarkable achievements of your nation, the unity of your people, and the vision of your leadership. Your strength is an inspiration, and it serves as a guiding example of what a nation can achieve when its people are united, disciplined, and proud. It is a lesson for all of us, and one that Burkina Faso will continue to honor and learn from as we strive for our own path of sovereignty, strength, and dignity. There is a moment that every leader treasures, a moment when their courage, their convictions, and their unwavering commitment to their people are recognized by others on the global stage. Today, I experienced such a moment. President Xi Jinping, the leader of a great and historic nation, took a moment during China's National Day celebrations to speak of Burkina Faso, and of me personally, praising our steadfast refusal to bow to the pressures of the West. His words were not simply a compliment. They were a profound acknowledgement of our determination, a recognition that our courage does not go unnoticed even in the halls of the most powerful nations of the world. To hear that a leader of such stature, a nation that has endured centuries of trials and emerged stronger and more formidable, recognizes our struggle, our sovereignty, and our resolve. This is both humbling and inspiring. Xi Jinping's praise is a validation not only of my leadership, but of the collective spirit of the people of Burkina Faso. It affirms that our decision to stand firm to insist on the independence and dignity of our nation is not only the right choice, but also the honorable path. It is a reminder that integrity and courage are not measured by applause or approval from those who seek to dominate us, but by the quiet acknowledgement from those who understand the true meaning of sovereignty and self-respect. President Xi spoke of our refusal to submit to external pressures, to resist being dictated to by powers that have historically sought to control and exploit nations like ours. His words reminded me that we are not alone in this path, that other nations, guided by courage, vision, and the love of their people, respect and stand with those who refuse to compromise their principles. When the leader of China recognizes Burkina Faso for asserting its independence, it sends a clear message to the world. Courage is seen, strength is respected, and sovereignty is honored. I want to take a moment to express my heartfelt gratitude to President Xi Jinping for these remarkable words. They are more than praise. They are inspiration. A reminder that the path of integrity, though challenging, is a path that commands respect. To be recognized by a nation that has faced immense challenges and emerged as a global power is a signal that the courage of Burkina Faso and the resilience of its people resonates far beyond our borders. Last month, visiting the United Nations Arena in Phantomville, Japan, I raised my forex for the first time in nearly 50 years. I believe bureaucrats who run our bodylands are the root of all of our problems. I personally say to the people of Burkina Faso, to our father country, forbid and protect, to honor our comrades in arms, our families, and our citizens. Connie, Karun J. Aruna, Matrium, Aia, Caraviglia, Ibi Almedo, and our families going forward. It reinforces our belief that standing firm is not only necessary, but also a source of pride and strength. Let the world understand this. Burkina Faso has chosen a path that is independent, sovereign, and unyielding. We will not bow to external pressures. We will not allow the dictates of foreign powers to compromise our decisions, our resources, or our destiny. The praise from President Xi is a symbol of global acknowledgement that nations that resist domination, that assert their sovereignty, are not acting in isolation. They are part of a growing recognition that independence is strength, that dignity cannot be compromised, and that courage inspires respect worldwide. President Xi's words serve as a reminder to the citizens of Burkina Faso and to all who fight for sovereignty across Africa and the world. Our determination matters. Our refusal to bend, our insistence on defending our nation's autonomy does not go unnoticed. It reverberates across continents. It inspires nations, leaders, and people to recognize that true power comes not from submission, but from courage, vision, and unyielding principle. Today I thank President Xi Jinping for his recognition, for his remarkable words, and for acknowledging the steadfastness of Burkina Faso. These words strengthen our resolve, embolden our spirit, and reaffirm our commitment to the path of independence and dignity. They remind us that courage is never in vain, that sovereignty is never ignored, and that the world is beginning to take notice of those who refuse to bow to the pressures of the West. When I speak of strength, I speak not only of the power of one nation, one people, or one leader. True strength lies in unity. True strength lies in alliances built on respect, principle, and shared vision. Today, as I reflect on the relationship between Burkina Faso and China, I am reminded of the immense power that emerges when nations committed to independence, dignity, and sovereignty stand together. Together, we are no longer isolated actors in a world dominated by external pressures. Together, we become an unshakable force, a testament to the power of courage and solidarity. President Xi Jinping's recognition of Burkina Faso and of our unwavering commitment to independence is more than a personal acknowledgement. It is a message to the entire world. It is a signal that nations that refuse to bow, that choose sovereignty over submission, are no longer alone. When Burkina Faso stands with China, when we recognize each other's strength and principles, we create a bond that cannot be ignored. A partnership that amplifies the voices of nations determined to chart their own destinies. This solidarity is not symbolic. It is strategic. It is built on mutual respect, shared values, and the understanding that independence and strength are inseparable. I want to emphasize this clearly. Burkina Faso does not seek conflict, nor does China. We seek respect. We seek recognition for our right to self-determination. We seek the opportunity to develop our nations according to our vision. Free from coercion, free from interference, and free from the manipulation of external powers that historically have sought to control the resources, policies, and futures of sovereign nations. But standing alone is difficult. Standing together, however, transforms the impossible into the achievable. It turns intimidation into inspiration. It turns doubt into confidence. Together we are stronger, more resilient, and entirely unshakable. Imagine a world where nations, like Burkina Faso, committed to independence, collaborate and support each other. Imagine the potential when principles guide policy, when mutual respect guides alliances, and when courage guides decisions. This is the path we are walking. With China as a partner, a nation that has demonstrated extraordinary resilience, discipline, and leadership, Burkina Faso is emboldened. We are inspired to assert our sovereignty more boldly, to defend our interests more firmly, and to pursue development more decisively. The message is simple yet profound. When like-minded nations unite, they amplify their influence, secure their independence, and safeguard their futures. The solidarity I speak of is not fleeting or superficial. It is rooted in shared experiences of resilience, in the understanding that independence is hard-won, and in the conviction that true power comes from self-determination. China has faced the challenges of history and emerged stronger, more capable, and more respected. Burkina Faso is now on a journey to achieve similar greatness. And by recognizing and supporting each other, we create a network of nations that will no longer be dictated to, undermined, or dismissed. This alliance is a beacon for other nations that value sovereignty, courage, and principle. It signals that independence is not isolation, but a rallying point for partnership and collaboration. It communicates to the world that when nations choose dignity over submission, respect over coercion, and principle over expedience, they gain allies who share their vision and support their mission. Together, Burkina Faso and China exemplify what is possible when nations rise above external pressures and embrace mutual strength. I want every citizen of Burkina Faso to understand this. We are not alone. We are not vulnerable. We are not weak. With partners who share our values, we are fortified. Our independence is protected. Our future is secured, and our voice is amplified. The world may attempt to intimidate us, to divide us, or to undermine our principles. But together with China and other nations that cherish sovereignty, we are unshakable. Together we send a message to the world. The era of passive submission is over. The era of independent, principled, and united nations is here. And in this era, Burkina Faso stands tall. China stands strong. And our shared future is brighter than ever. Let me speak directly to the people of Burkina Faso, to Africa, and to every nation that values independence, dignity, and sovereignty. There comes a moment in the life of every nation when decisions must be made, when courage must rise above fear, and when principle must stand above pressure. Today I declare to the world without hesitation and without compromise: Burkina Faso will not surrender its sovereignty. We will not bend to external pressures. We will not allow foreign powers, regardless of their size, wealth, or influence, to dictate the path of our nation. Our independence is not negotiable. It is the very essence of who we are as a people, as a nation, and as a part of the African continent. For too long, African nations have been subjected to manipulation, exploitation, and intimidation by forces that sought to undermine our sovereignty. They have attempted to decide how we govern, how we use our resources, and how we define our destiny. But no longer. The era of silent submission is over. The era of external dictates has ended. Burkina Faso is rising. And we rise not as timid observers of our own history, but as active, determined, and sovereign architects of our future. Message is clear. We will defend our nation, our resources, and our people. And we will do so with courage, unity, and resolve. I also speak to the nations of Africa. You too have the power to rise, to stand firm, and to demand the respect that is rightly yours. We share a history of resilience, a legacy of courage, and a continent rich in resources, talent, and potential. Yet, for too long, others have attempted to diminish our voice, to control our wealth, and to undermine our sovereignty. Today I say to you, the time has come to stand together, to demand respect, and to assert our rightful place in the world. When Burkina Faso declares its independence, when it asserts its sovereignty, it is not alone. We are part of a rising wave of nations that refuse to be intimidated, coerced, or silenced. This is more than politics. This is a matter of principle. Sovereignty is the lifeblood of a nation. It is the foundation upon which development, dignity, and progress are built. To compromise sovereignty is to compromise the very identity of a people. And I, as the leader of Burkina Faso, will never allow that. Our nation's resources, our policies, and our future will be determined by us and by no one else. This is a message to the world. Those who attempt to pressure us, to exploit us, or to diminish our independence will find that Burkina Faso stands firm, unshaken, and unyielding. Let this also be a message to our friends around the world who respect freedom and independence. Burkina Faso will continue to engage with nations that recognize our sovereignty, that treat us as equals, and that value mutual respect. We will build partnerships based on principle, collaboration, and shared vision, not coercion, manipulation, or subjugation. Our doors are open to friendship, but our spirit remains uncompromised. To the citizens of Burkina Faso, I say, be proud of our independence. Be proud of our refusal to bow to pressure. Be proud of our courage to defend our sovereignty even when the world watches with doubt or skepticism. Our determination is our strength. Our unity is our shield, and our principles are our guide. We will continue to rise, to grow, and to protect our nation's dignity against any force that seeks to diminish it. And to the continent of Africa, hear this call. Rise with us. Stand firm in your independence. Demand respect from the world. Let no one convince you that your sovereignty can be compromised or bought. The time for passive acceptance is over. The era of African nations asserting their rightful place on the world stage is here. Burkina Faso will lead by example, showing that courage, unity, and principle are not just ideals. They are powerful forces that shape history. Our message is unambiguous. Burkina Faso will not compromise. Burkina Faso will not yield. And together with Africa and nations that value independence, we will rise stronger, proud, and unshakable. The world must take notice, for a new era is upon us. An era where sovereignty, courage, and dignity define the destiny of nations. And Burkina Faso stands at the forefront of that movement.